Good morning everyone, it's Yvonne here from the Aussie Goddess to do your What's Cracking reading. We're going to use the Lightseers Tarot for your reading this morning. Firstly, thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. I have some things that I do want to catch up on with you today. Last time I offered to gift you with tarot decks. The postage was quite phenomenal. I have some tarot decks that I would like to give away. But I'm asking that you donate to the cost of the postage. I think if I remember rightly, to post to the States was around about $28 Australian. And to post in Australia was almost the same amount, which really surprised me. But if you'd like to have a tarot deck, whatever comes your way, I'm more than happy to sign it and send out a business card with that. But if you'd like to have one of my pre-owned tarot decks, I have, I think, about 5 oracle decks. So I'm ready to part ways with some of the older ones. Let me know, email me and let me know that you're prepared to cover some of the postage, and I will more than happily send them out for you. Of course, once we make contact, I'll need your address. Now, if you want a personal reading from me, you know now that I have a booking calendar on my website at www.theaussiegoddess.com. I am limited with hours this week. I think there are still spots left if you're interested, but it's sort of starting to flow into next week now. So let me know if you want a reading and you can't get a time on the site, and I may have a time for you outside of those hours, but I may not, so just run it past me. I'm back at Port Kembla this Thursday doing readings. If you are interested in coming and having a face-to-face reading, I don't have anybody booked in at this stage, so if you want to do just a walk-in, I should be there till round about, I would say, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, roughly. So let me know if you want to come and have a face-to-face reading with me. And I'm also thinking of going live on their website Thursday morning. So keep in touch. I will announce that on here. That means anybody can join. But I might do some questions, responding to questions with no cost. So if you are interested in joining me with that, let me know and I'll try and announce it tomorrow or Wednesday. And you can come and join me there. So it'll be like my Facebook Live, but it's on their site, the Psychic Hub. So let me know and I'll keep you in touch with that. But I more than likely will put it up on my website at the Facebook, sorry, not the website, Facebook at the Aussie Goddess. Okay, so we have the Temperance. Wow. Okay, so just out of the blue, I get 3 cards thrown in front of me. I know that I've been through this the last couple of days, and I'm sort of looking at this thinking, I feel like the universe is sort of going through this at the moment. There is a lot of wake-up calls coming through at the moment, a lot of epiphany moments. I have the Hermit, the Temperance, and also the Hierophant coming through here. But they've come pretty jolty over the last few days about, you know, remembering what you've learned, sort of standing by yourself, not letting go or going back to old ways of doing things when you've learned so much. And if you have a habit of doing something a certain way and you've been doing that way for a really long time, but you've done a lot of work on the 12 months to move that, just keep in mind that you need to sort of remember to go back. So sometimes, say for example, the one that really sort of comes to mind is, you've learned to stay out of your head, you've learned to be the observer, you've learned to watch things you do, and then all of a sudden something happens and you get back into your emotional body again. And then you start getting really sort of wound up and bogged down by the day-to-day stuff, and you have to sort of remind yourself to go back into that observer again. And I found that a lot over the last week. I feel like there's been sort of, I almost want to say, slippage for some of us in going back to old ways of thinking. So be aware of that. I feel like the universe is trying to remind you of how far you've come, and it might be that you need to get back to that meditation practice. You may need to get back to that healthy eating, but something here is sort of tipping your stability a little bit, and there's a big call here for you to remember where you've come from. So that's really sort of, I've been speaking to a lot of people. I did a big party yesterday with several people, and I feel that sometimes, you know, you're going to go back and revisit things no matter what. It doesn't matter how well you deal with your past. There will be things that will come up with for you again. It's almost like having a wound reopened. And that can be through something that's happened in your family, something that's happened roundabout that drags you straight back to that past energy. And before you know, it's like you're wound up in the old energy rather than remembering how far you've come. So there's a little bit of a reminder there. For me, it was a death in the family that took me back very quickly. And it's very difficult sometimes to come to terms with the fact that you've gone back into that emotional way of thinking or that old way of thinking. So yeah, definitely a call from the universe to be conscious of that. Nice split spirit. All right, let's see where we're going. So we have the Queen of Cups coming through here. Now, the Queen of Cups represents Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. The Queen of Cups as an energy talks about someone who comes from the heart. This person is very loving, kind, nurturing. This is a person who has very, very good intuition. But the thing I love about the Queen of Cups the most is that she loves who she is. She loves herself. She has just respect for everything that is about her. And I feel like sometimes this is a real good reminder for us to get into that energy of loving oneself. Now, when we come from a place of love, we have to separate love and emotion. And I know that some people don't really understand that, but there's a very big difference, because your emotions you've learned to use the way you have. And sometimes our emotions are a little bit distorted because of where we've come from. Love is very different. Love is a feeling that comes from within you. So you can love and not be overly emotional, or you can be love and be very emotional. But the type of love that the Queen of Cups has, especially for herself, is that love that is pure and true. You could be dealing with a Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio here. We do have the Magician behind. Okay, so what the universe is saying to you here, this is about creation. I feel like somehow or another the universe is saying in order to create, you've got to be in the energy of the Queen of Cups. Now, I've noticed this a little bit lately with comments on my page and my readings. Because things aren't working for people, they tend to sort of lash out at the readers, which is a little strange, but it just means that you're not taking responsibility. You need to place the blame somewhere else, or the responsibility somewhere else. You have to be discerning when it comes to readings. If it's not happening to you, you can't put the blame on the reader, because we are only bringing messages that are covering a whole collective. So there is an energy then that perhaps it has nothing to do with the reader at all, but maybe the reading isn't yours. It just isn't your reading. So if you feel that you are trying to manifest, and we do have the Magician here, and things aren't moving along, then it's really good, like we all do, to go back to the drawing board and ask yourself what is perhaps blocking you at the moment, what can you do differently, whatever. But manifestation comes from a place of high vibration. It's where you're feeling grateful for everything in your life, where you feel you're grateful for the food on your table, for the air you breathe, you're grateful for being alive and being healthy, or whatever you have, you are grateful for. You might be grateful for your partner, for your life, for your children, but you wake up every day feeling grateful. That is the Queen of Cups energy, and that is where you manifest. So if you're looking at other people and blaming them because you're not happy, or blaming them because things aren't happening for you, then you're not in the place of this self-love and gratefulness. So this is where you need to be to manifest. We all do it. There is no judgment here. We slip into these old mindsets, we slip into these old ways of doing things, and when things don't happen, we tend to think it's everything else's fault. That's the victim mentality. That is what you've got to let go of. So if you are, finding that things aren't working for you, or things aren't happening for you, then you've got a mindset of feeling like a victim. When the Magician comes through, it says that actually you have everything you need to bring about a result. So it is within you to manifest. It's totally within you. But if you're feeling like you can't, then ask yourself, what do I need to do to make myself feel better about the world I live in with the life I've been gifted? Because some of us have had pretty disastrous or treacherous upbringings, lives, whatever. None of us have done it that easily. It's rare in my work that somebody says to me, my life has been absolutely perfect and everything's been wonderful. But I have met people who are in an attitude of appreciating every little thing that happens in their life. So that's where the magician is at. It's telling you here that you are in a place to manifest when you're in this Queen of Cups energy. And we do have the Lovers card coming through here. And the Lovers card talks about two people being divinely brought together by the universe. This is about love that is true. This is two people who feel really, really comfortable with each other. Now, if you're trying to manifest love here, the universe is saying in order to manifest new love, you've got to be in this Queen of Cups energy first. So those things I've just talked about are not going to serve you in moving forward. You've got to be in the place of self-love. And I used to think when people said self-love, it was about going out and having a massage, getting your hair done, getting your nails done, whatever you felt good, whatever you needed to do to feel good about yourself. But actually self-love is much, much deeper than that. It's about accepting yourself, warts and all. It's about accepting everything about yourself regardless. All your mistakes, all of the things that you felt you've done wrong, all of the things that have happened in your life, you've got to look at everything and understand how to be grateful for that. Now, I know people come off with this idea all the time and I hear it and I think, I don't know if it's the right thing to do. If you're listening to me and going, I don't want to do that, or you're looking in the mirror every morning and not liking what you see, you are not in a place of self-love. But that isn't a bad thing, because if you can note that and you can see that, then you can start to understand where you are on your self-love journey. When you self-love, if you do something wrong or something goes wrong, you just take it in your stride, knowing that you can trust yourself to get past it. You can trust in yourself because you believe in who you are. You don't measure yourself by what other people think of you. So there is a whole energy around self-love that is very different to just getting your hair done or going and getting your nails done. This is about you accepting who you are at the deepest level. So if things don't go right in your life, or you feel that you have somehow been disadvantaged, don't look at it from the perspective of being disadvantaged or things are going wrong. Look at it from the perspective of perhaps you need to look at it from a different perspective. Because what you're doing is manifesting that. And I say this to people often, if you are in a position where you are feeling like somehow you've been ripped off or somehow you're not achieving what you need to achieve, then you are coming from a victim mentality, and that is what you are manifesting. If you want love in your life, the universe is saying to you, you have all the tools you need to bring in new love. But in order to do that, you've got to be in the Queen of Cups energy, which also means that you need to be really loving yourself. Now we have the Nine of Wands coming through here, and the Nine of Wands is the card of the wounded warrior. And when I see the Nine of Wands, I feel like you're going through some sort of pattern here that you are starting to understand. For me, this is a pattern. It's going through something over and over and over again without really understanding why you're there. And this is a card of realizing this is what is happening here. I'm repeating a pattern. I need to understand, why am I repeating that pattern? Because you can stop the pattern, but if you stop the pattern and you don't have a good understanding, you're going to repeat it again. So there's definitely this energy of repeating patterns, anxiety and sadness from repeating patterns. But then we have the beautiful Ace of Swords coming through. So some sort of truth is coming to you, or is about to be shown to you in some way, shape or form here. So let's see what's going on. Oh, I love it. Ending. Ta-da! So the World card talks about completion. It talks about completing a cycle. It talks about learning the lessons. It talks about understanding why you're where you are and what you've achieved. And this is what I think that Spirit was saying to in the very beginning, is make sure you don't get trapped back into those old patterns. So let's have a really good look at something. Maybe your pattern is not good relationships. Maybe you've always had relationships that have been either narcissistic, which I deal with all the time. Believe me, you have no idea how many people experience difficult relationships. A lot of abandonment and rejection in the world. So I see that all the time, and I know that's the work I need to do. For others, I constantly talk to people who've come from these backgrounds, from abuse and whatever else. And I guess that was my light work coming through. This is my journey. What happens if you keep repeating relationships? You keep falling into the same relationship, same person, different face, I always say. So you keep repeating. So you do all this work. You stop having a relationship, might be, several years before you decide to move into a new relationship. And by that time, you have a really good understanding of what you've done. But before you know it, you're back in another relationship, questioning whether you've done it again. And I guess this is what it's all about. You can't read a book unless you understand the content. Because if you read a book and you don't understand what you're reading, when you put the book down, you're done. And you maybe don't take the lessons away. So there's a really big, strong energy here of the universe saying, remember your journey. Don't just think about the destination. Remember where you've come from, what you've done, what you've learned, and don't go back. Like, be aware of it. So this is definitely closing out some sort of cycle here with the World card. All right, so we have the star next to that with the sun. Oh my goodness. And the tower. Look at that. 4 major arcanas coming through here. I can see this really, really clearly. This is saying to you that you are closing out some sort of cycle because you need to align with your destiny here with the star card. This is about faith, trust, healing, and it is about destiny. Your wishes being presented to you. What's on your path coming towards you now? Something that's bringing you great joy and happiness, but I feel more so it's like this enlightenment energy. It's like you've seen something really clearly for the first time. There's joy, there's gratitude, there's happiness here in this card. And it's like you've seen it for the first time, like you've seen something for the first time. So maybe you have just closed out this cycle, maybe this cycle is about to close out, but what I love most is you have the tower here. And the tower says you've recognized here a need to let go of something, a need to let go of this way of doing things, this way of being in the World card. This is rebuilding yourself. This is building yourself back up again. It's starting again, but this time you're doing it from a different place because you've learned the lessons now. So this time you're building without that there. All right. I can't believe all those major arcanas. Page of Pentacles coming through. And we have the 2 of Pentacles. Wow, okay. And the King of Wands. For some of you, you may definitely be repeating some sort of pattern in your relationships. Maybe you've broken the pattern here. The 2 of Pentacles tells me that you're gaining a good balance between your head and your heart. And I really think this is beautiful because in this particular deck, look at the pentacle in here. So it's almost like you got the star in both of these. So that, to me, this looks like you've achieved a beautiful balance with this star energy here. But I know that this here always signifies with the Page of Pentacles that something has been gifted here from the universe, or something will be gifted to you here. And maybe it's something to do with this cycle. Maybe it's the insight that you needed. Maybe it's some sort of message, communication, something coming through here that makes you understand something deeper than you've seen before. But I feel like with the King of Wands here, that this is the energy of taking leadership in your own life. This is about you having the bravado, the courage, whatever it is, to move forward in a very different way. Because that tower is coming down here. It cannot be, you've been building on a faulty foundation. And the universe is saying that has to come down. All right, so we have the 2 of Cups. Many of you, it's through new love. I felt that before, and releasing or leaving heartache behind. All right, so what do we have here? King of Pentacles. For many of you, this is finding a relationship or I would say it's a relationship here with the King of Pentacles. The King of Pentacles for me represents partnership, husband and wife or lovers, but an equal partnership. The King of Pentacles wants to provide for his person or her person. The Two of Cups is here telling me you may be about to, or you may have already met someone in your life that's going to help you see through this previous pattern you've created for yourself. But you've done this here because you've ended here with the Tower. It's like you've taken your power back here with the King of Wands, and whatever has hurt you in the past, you've put it under your wings, and you're understanding that it is all helping you to create something brand new in this Tower. But there's definitely a feeling here for some of you. This is about bringing yourself into balance. And look, this is just amazing energy here. So the Star and Sun are both in this Two of Pentacles energy. And that sort of says to me, there's enlightenment about your journey here. It's like you've seen something about your journey that you weren't seeing before, and it's coming into balance with this Two Pentacles. There's definitely a feeling here that you are being gifted with some sort of insight or some sort of energy of understanding, because you're taking the power back in your life here. And no matter what's happened in the past, no matter what's gone in that Tower, you are rebuilding your broken heart into some sort of Two of Cups energy and creating a relationship for yourself with this King of Pentacles. So if you're always finding that you are seeing the tougher side of things, if you are waking up every day and seeing all the things that you've got to complain about, gripe about in your life, or finding that you're always doing those things, then maybe you need to start seeing this Sun and Star and start creating through your joy and happiness, rather than through this sort of energy of this pattern that you've been going through. All right, let's have a look and see where we're going here. So it's taking on the energy of the Queen of Cups. Now, for some of you, this could be a water sign that is coming into your life, very possible. The Magician says to me that the universe is saying to you, you have all the tools you need to create the life you want. The Lovers card tells me something really potent is coming towards you, but in order to accept this, you have to let go of a past pattern and anxiety that you've been carrying around. You need to be standing in the truth of who you are, and that means letting go of the ego. And the ego is the thing that is full of doubts and worries. That is what the ego is about. And the doubts and worries you surround yourself with because they make you feel safe, because it's what you know. I just want to have a look at this King of Pentacles energy. Oh, the Queen of Cups has come over that. So you may have somebody coming in here with the Magician again. Oh boy. And the Strength card. You may have somebody coming into your life here who's going to put you in an energy like you've manifested this person. You've manifested this person through your own strength, through your own healing here. And I feel like this person is going to be, for some of you, a break from the pattern of how you've done these things in the past. I definitely see creation here. All right, let's read you an oracle card. Now, that's really funny. I thought I'd brought another oracle deck over with me. I put all new cards out today. We'll read one from the Whispers of Love. Oh, listen with your heart. What is the number on that card? 1. Ooh, brand new journey. Listen with your heart. You are listening but need to hear with a loving heart. Oh my goodness, that resonates with the whole book thing. If you read a book and put it down and don't take the lessons that you've read with it, then you've wasted your time reading the book, unless it's a novel, in which case you can waste your time. The opportunity is here for you to bring a loving perspective to a situation. It is easy to get wrapped up in the words being said. What does your heart say about this situation? It knows the truth. Trust that. Sit still, take a deep breath and ask your heart what you need to know. Love's first task is to listen. Do you have a habit of drifting away while someone else is speaking? Do you get entangled in your own thoughts? Take time to process what is being communicated before you respond or react. Learning to listen with an open heart will help you receive guidance or affirm something you already know. So I feel like that's the same thing. It's not so much the listening that I guess Spirit is getting at here. It's not so much actually listening, but learning from it. So you can hear it, but what did you learn from it? I'll leave you with that. Thank you.